I'm back. Jasmine Crochetery here, and I just want to say I apologize because this week's video is probably going to look a lot like next week's video and potentially the week after. I'm sorry. I have 2 craft shows coming up, one Saturday, one Sunday, back to back. No breaks, so I'm trying to mass make as much crochet stuff as I can, and if you know crochet, you know that's not really doable. I also just want to say I got new earrings. They're like little Coraline ones. If you know, then you know. But I have an entire just shopping bag next to me of everything that I made within the last couple weeks. So I'm going to just show you everything one by one, and I'm not going to just keep like bending over like that. I'm just going to pause the video and then resume it once I have enough things in my lap to make. I will say some of these are not from a crochet book, but a good majority is from this book right here, which I actually am loving right now. But I'll get into this in a bit. I'm going to try to go through everything first that is not from that book. So the first thing that I have are a couple little keychains. I have a whale ones that I usually make, but I was like, I have whales and like mini shark plushies that I sell, so I should have little shark keychains. So I made 3 of them. One of them got lost somewhere already. Yeah, I have this one, which is blue, and then this one is yellow, and I had a third purple one, but it knocked over when it was drying, so I'm thinking it's probably just on the floor behind my dresser, so I'm just gonna have to get that. And what I mean by drying is I used fabric paint to paint on the eyes. I'm not sure how well you can tell or if it's like very noticeable or not, but fabric paint is gonna stick to it. It doesn't make it oh geez, any harder. If you were to use acrylic paint, it would make the plushie hard, just as a pro tip. But if you're using fabric paint, it's going to keep the soft texture. So I have these 2 little keychains and then a third one impending somewhere. And then I have one of them almost kind of done. This way it looks like nothing. This way it's a horrendous Hello Kitty. I don't think it looks that great painted on like this. I think I'm going to embroider the next couple ones. As you can tell, it doesn't have its bow on. And that is because I've been using resin a lot lately, mostly to make crochet eyes, but I have been messing around with some molds to make like little pieces that I just don't want to make every single time, to be honest. So I found one that has like these little bows. So it's this cute little bow like that, and I'm going to paint it red and then stick it on the ear, and it looks like it's going to fit, kind of. I'm going to make the size up that the mold had also and see how they look next to each other. Also, this paint job's just not that great, but I am going to make like 2 more of these realistically, but they're not going to get done yet. This one's technically not finished. And then I do have a couple of things here next to me that aren't finished, which I can mostly just grab without going off screen. And if you know me, if you're a longtime viewer, you know I don't like making Pokemon related things. They just sell a lot, which means I have to make a lot, and I don't really like making things when I feel like I have to make things. I feel like a lot of crocheters can relate to that. So I haven't had these in forever, so I'm finally restocking some of them up anyways, or at least some of the Eevees. I'm just trying to like restock because I used to have all of the Eevee lotions. I did have to order yarn. I don't know if I'm gonna get it in time before the craft shows. If I do, I'm gonna speed rake some more, but these ones are in acrylic yarn, or wait for yarn. This one is Umbreon again. They don't have all of the details on them yet because I like to do all of the detail work at the end. It's painful, but it gets done. Also because I have resin eyes that I'm going to stick on all of them, and each of them have their own different colored eyes. So instead of pulling out all of my paints to paint all of the eyes, I'd rather just do them all at once because some of them have similar colors, just to save myself the paint. So this one is Umbreon. This one is Jolteon, and I love how the little collar came out. I'm like, these are so cute. And then my favorite one to make, which is Espeon. It's just nice, it's easy, it's one color, and it always comes out cute. And it's got a little floppy tail back there too. But yeah, this is how big the acrylic version of it is, and my blanket versions tend to be double the size. So about one hand for me is the acrylic size, and then if I were to do this, that's about what the blanket ones usually turn out to be, roughly anyways. So it's a good size difference. I've only got 3 of those done. I guess I have Vaporeon's body that I can show, although none of his details are done yet. We were working on him, and I'm gonna check to see if I have anything else that's not from this book before I show you what it is. Okay, we have 4 things that are not from there that I can show you. First up is a little blue mini dinosaur. Again, there's no eyes because I do detail work at the end. I like punishing myself. But yeah, here is a blue dinosaur. I only had a pink one of these left in stock, so I just made one for now, and hopefully that's fine. Worst comes to worst, it's not the worst thing in the world to have to remake. Next up, a little blue turtle. I sold a lot of these in comparison to like the pink ones and then the normal shelled ones. And by that I mean I have like a blue on blue here. I had a pink on pink, and then I had a green with random different shell colors, and the blue one sold the best. So made another one of those. I've got a black rainbow bee. That's the ugly side. This is the aesthetically pleasing side. A black rainbow bee, because I still have one more, and these don't sell that well for me. At least not traditionally, they don't. So I only made one more of the black ones, mainly just because I needed to work on one just to figure out how I'm pricing them to see if maybe I'm charging too much. She was not. And then lastly, I have a little blue on blue caterpillar. Yeah, I had to use a lot of blue. Blue on blue caterpillar. I sold the blue one that I had, so now I have a pink one and then a neutral one in stock. And everything else I have is from this. So I'll just briefly mention this because I'm probably going to do like a review on it once I finish everything. There's 40 crochet patterns in it. It's Crochet by Jenna. I'm pretty sure you can purchase all of these separately if you like, but I believe the book is on the more recent spectrum. So yeah, just 40 patterns in here. So I was like, yeah, they look cute from the cover alone. I was like, these all look pretty cool. Like, I can do them. They're great. Let me show you everything. A couple of the larger ones I have here are a couple dragons. I made a boy version and a girl version, and by that I mean blues, greens, oranges, purples, pinks, you know, the typical color scheme that people think of when they think boys and girls. Yeah, I hate how markets work like that, but markets work like that. So here is the boy version. It's a blue, and this color actually has like sparkles in it. You can kind of see it when it's really up close like that. Also, this looks crazy on camera. This is not the shade of blue I'm looking at. I'm looking at more of like a muted denim color. On camera, this looks insanely bright. It is not that bright, I can assure you. It's more tame. I actually really like how the blue looks on camera in comparison to the blue that I have, which kind of stinks. But again, no facial details, didn't do them yet. But yeah, this is pretty nice. Like, ooh. And then I made the other one in purple and pink. Again, the camera makes it like slightly different in color. This is more of like a lilac color compared to it's like showing as like a lavender. But I think it's really cute. And then I have a couple of giraffes, because giraffes are something that actually sold really good for me. And then I just forgot that I needed to make more. So this worked out great for me. So we have this one, which is not done. And then this one does have a little face on it. And I like how long their necks are. Like, you could just maybe don't. Couple more loose things. I've got a little panda here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about the eyes on this one because it had the black patches. I was tempted to just not do them, but I was like, no, for the sake of the pattern, I'm gonna stick to it because it's my first time trying it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe I just try to embroider like deeper ones, or maybe I'll go for like a brown gray instead of the black. But yeah, again, this is a cute size, and I have a little fox here. This guy looks chonky. It's because he is chonky. The body is supposed to look like this one. I accidentally missed a decreasing row and did the remainder of the pattern incorrectly. So I have to redo this pattern, potentially, before the craft show in order to make it. But Yeah, look at the chonk difference there. Also, this little guy does have a face. Sorry, panda. I do have a couple more things. I usually have a different axolotl pattern, but I saw that this book had one, and this was like 2 projects into that one already. And I was like, these are looking great price-wise for me to be able to put my prices out. So I was like, I'm gonna try this axolotl, because the axolotls that I have currently in my markets, I feel like are not the greatest, because it was when I was first starting crochet. So I used the one pattern that I could find, which took more time than one of these takes, and taking more time means higher price. So these ones I can put at a lower price, which is more craft show friendly. So this one is pink, and then I do a blue one, obviously, and I did a purple one once, and I thought it looked really cute, so I have a purple one too. I want to do a green one in the comments. Let me know if you think that's a good idea and if I should do that, because I feel like a green on green, like little axolotl, would look really cute. But yeah, this one's pretty. It's got little bobbled feet and then the little tail details, and they like stack up nicely on top of each other. I'm like, come on, one more, because you want. And I've got 4 items left for this video anyways. And they actually had a gummy bear pattern in here. Gummy bears are something that I've been like really intrigued to try, because they're gummy bears. I've seen people make them a lot at other markets, and they seem to do really well. I've never tried it. I've wanted to. So when I saw that this book just had a gummy bear pattern in it conveniently, I was like, this is my time. So I've got a blue little gummy bear, and these ones are done because gummy bears don't have faces. So yeah, they got little bobbles for the feet and the ears, and then like a little bit of a protruding snout. So I made one in blue, and I made one in pink, and I feel like that was the wrong decision because it's hot pink, and flavored candies usually aren't hot pink. I was using what I had, and then I had a very teeny tiny ball of hot pink and a very teeny tiny ball of the same pink from the axolotl. So I was like, I'm gonna make a scrap one where it's half of the pinks. So it's half of a light pink, half of a bright pink, and then I ran out of the bright pink, so I just used the other pink again to close its booty cheeks. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Might it sell? I don't know. But it does look really cute. And then I wanted to try it in a smaller weight. So I tried it in a weight 4. I should have kept one of those. I picked one up. So this is what the weight 4 one looks like. You can definitely see the snout a lot better on it. And for size reference, here is the weight 6 next to the weight 4. You can see quite a difference. Unfortunately, this takes up the same amount of time as this, even though this comes out at a cheaper cost price, so like supplies wise. It takes the same amount of time to make this. So instead of selling this, let's just say for $5. Like if this and this were both priced at $5 on the same table, which one you picking? We picking the bigger one. We ain't picking the little one. You're picking the bigger one. So I'm probably not gonna make any more of this size. But for trying it once, it's not bad. But that's everything that I was able to make within the next week. I do have some more things I need to get done. I have a whole list, actually. Yeah, my crazy list here of 43 items that would be like nice if I could make it by my craft show, but if not, it's not the end of the world. Plus an additional 9 if I do get the EB yarn in the mail prior to my craft show date. Some of these I obviously know that I'm not gonna make. There's like 10 of these on here specifically that are just random Pokemon that I'm like, if I have time to do it. All of the restocking things that I needed to do were pretty much all of those things. There's a couple more patterns out of this book that I want to try in here. There's a couple things that I have started on my list and I ran out of yarn. Gotta go to the store. And I have those in front of me. There's a couple things that are started that I just haven't finished because I have to time myself making those. And I like to do things whilst I crochet sometimes. Sometimes I like to play The Sims. I don't always like to just keep a stopwatch going. So some things are not fully done just yet. So you'll see those probably next week. Like I said, I'm probably gonna have to create next week's video also being a market prep video, just because I don't have time to not be doing a market prep video. I don't have time to film something else and then still make all of 43 of those things. So you're definitely like, I'm sorry, but at least you're getting to see a lot of cute plushies. So I digress. And with that, I'll stop bothering you. I will stop rambling off your ears, and you'll see a bunch of cool goodies next week.